Awesome. We are live. Yes, amazing.
Awesome.
Welcome everybody to the Gamma Dames. At the moment, it is just myself and Lucy. We are waiting for Sarah to join us with artist, colorist Alex Sinclair, live from San Diego. So, hello, I'm Holly.
And I'm Lucy.
Woo!
Sarah got the times wrong.
Yeah, we can't blame her. She is in San Diego Comic-Con, so I think it's you're allowed to be distracted if you're there.
No, she's not. She's not whatsoever.
Outrageous.
I hate her right now. She just could have finally come online and I'd just be like, hi.
Get away.
How's your fun life?
Yes. Well, I guess we should jump straight in with some comic recommendations. Mine is actually a graphic novel that came out, I think, last week or the week before, and it is amazing. And if you've watched any of my YouTube videos, you know I've already mentioned it in there. It is Paul Dini's A Dark Knight, which is about when he, in real life, got beaten up and kind of like left for dead in the street whilst he was working on Batman the Animated Series. And the comic book is basically like a semi-autobiographical take on it and how Batman and his imagination kind of helped him through the recovery and all that. And it's like really emotional and amazing, and the artwork is fantastic. I think it's by a guy called Eduardo Riso, I think was his name. And as far as I know, it didn't come out in single issues. Like, it's just this hardback graphic novel.
I'm so sorry. Your video stopped playing.
Yeah, and it's completely amazing, and everyone should read it. It's like the sort of thing where you finish reading it and you're just like, whoa, I need a minute. Like, it was, yeah, it's amazing. Everyone should read that. And it's in a really nice hardback, which I'm like a sucker for anyway. So,
oh, I do love a pretty book. I know they say don't judge a book by its cover, but that's exactly what I do. But I'd actually never ever even heard of this until I watched your YouTube video. And out of all the graphic novels you mentioned, I'll be honest, I can't even remember the other four because I was so blown away by the idea of this one. I was like, this is amazing. This sounds like for me. Yeah. The graphic, I'm kind of torn between what I want to recommend this week, but they're both by Brian Lee O'Malley. Because on my YouTube channel, I'm doing a book club once a week, and we are doing Scott Pilgrim.
Awesome.
And I've started reading that and fallen in love with it. But then coincidentally, he's brought out a new issue of a new story this week, and it's called Snot Girl. And I actually fell in love with it. And Snot Girl is about this social media beautician. Like, what are they called? I don't know.
Beauty blogger?
Like a beauty blogger, yeah. And she's been doing it for years, but unfortunately, as anyone will know on social media, that she only allows them to see the better half of herself, not the part with allergies where she's all snotty and gross. And her friends are very two-dimensional, very bitchy, and her boyfriend is just terrible. And she meets this girl who she wants to be best friends with, and it takes a really interesting turn by the last page. I don't know if you've actually read it.
I have. I did.
Yeah, and like the last couple of pages, I'm just like, oh, okay, this is not for as I thought this was just going to be like some teen comic, and it's. Nope. I don't think it is at all, at all. And that made me really want to carry on reading it. I really enjoyed it before then because she had green hair, and I could relate being the social media whore that I am. and then that happened, and I went, it's just turned into a type of book I do want to read. And the artist is Leslie Hung, and I don't think I've ever noticed reading anything by her before, but I'm in love with her artwork as well. I love her.
Yeah, I'll back up that recommendation because I really enjoyed that as well. I particularly enjoyed it as someone who suffers with allergies and has green hair. But yeah, I thought it was amazing. And I know someone that actually like stopped reading it before the last page, and I'm like, no, but the last page was like the whole point.
Yeah, totally changes, like turns the comic around.
Yeah, I love that. I thought it was amazing, and I don't think I've seen that artist work anywhere else either. But I loved it. But I didn't like. Can't remember having read anything with her working before. Yeah,
you know more than I do. I'm terrible with names.
I'm just
I've started learning names because I do reviews now. Before then, I was like, it's by person.
I'm just like a bank of useless information. I don't know like anything useful, but just like names and nonsense like that. Yeah, Samurai 0x on YouTube just said that he read Tokyo Ghost 8 the other day, and it's still on my mind. And to be honest, I felt like that about most of Tokyo Ghost by Rick Remender. That's been that I talk about that all the time because it's one of my favorites. Yeah, I've got a whole list of things for us to chat about, but we should probably start with, I don't know if have you watched any of the new trailers out of San Diego yet?
No, I was meant to. I saw, like, plug. I saw that you'd done a reaction to Wonder Woman. I haven't seen it. That trailers, I bet they're like a minute or too long.
Yeah, there's a Wonder Woman one, a Justice League one, new Doctor Strange one, and then little like teasery things for Netflix is Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and the Defenders, and also the new Sherlock season trailer's just gone up. But I haven't watched that one yet. But
Sherlock is in the British one with Cumberbatch.
Yeah, the TV show. Yeah, series 4. I haven't watched that one yet, but the one's like really surprisingly good. I guess because I was like so convinced that that movie was going to be terrible, and the trailer's like surprisingly interesting. That's very, very, very true. I
bet it's going to be 3 hours, and that was the like 1% of goodness.
Yeah, probably. Although, like, part of the thing they show in the trailer is the whole reason I'm watching the movie, which is Steve Trevor, which is Chris Pine, like laying wet on the beach. I will go and see
all of a sudden that film looked good.
Yeah, the trailer like almost opens with like a moist Chris Pine, and I'm like, yep, I'm in.
You don't even remember the rest of the trailer, do you? Tell me one other thing that happens. Just one.
That was really what I was focused on. And I, funnily enough, in my reaction video, I go, oh, I like the World War II setting. It's World War One, which I would have realised if I had any knowledge in here that wasn't like comic nonsense. Yeah, so ridiculous. But that looks really fun. Justice League looks quite good, but I haven't seen Batman vs Superman still, so I don't really know how to feel about it. They've made Aquaman like so serious.
It's just that trailer you watched, but 3 hours long.
Yeah,
I guarantee it. I haven't seen the trailer, but that's all.
Yeah, I mean, the only good thing that Justice League is like it has other people in it, because like my least favorite people in this like block of movies is specifically Ben Affleck and specifically Henry Cavill, so Superman and Batman. Whereas I really like Jason Momoa because again he's wet in the trailer, and it's also got Ezra Miller playing the Flash, and I adore Ezra Miller, so I'd probably see it just for him. And there's a bit of him in the trailer, and maybe Wonder Woman if she's good. But yeah, that was quite good.
I would have. I'll be honest. I would have paid for it anyway. I would have paid to go see it because, well, one, YouTube. Two, if you own a comic book shop, you've got to kind of know all this type of movies that come out and be up to date with it. But as I was saying to you before we went live, I've got an Odeon Limitless card now. I got it last week. Haven't even used it yet, but I plan on pretty much seeing every film that ever comes out now. So because I need to feel like I'm getting my money's worth. So yeah, I'll probably definitely be watching all these films, even without seeing trailers.
Yeah, well, like Kai just said in the comments, wet actors, automatic Holly approval. That's correct. Pretty much.
I don't know what's automatical approval for me. Like automatical? That's not a word. Automatic approval. I think something with cheese in, or I don't know.
Oh, cheese and wet actors. That sounds like my kind of film.
Cheese, Disney musicals, and mermaids. That's just fun. That's the Little Mermaid with cheese. That's what I just described.
Just put cheese in everything. I have got to mention a little bit of news that I am excited and terrified about, which is that they're putting Robbie Ree's Ghost Rider into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I love Robbie Rees from the comics, from All New Ghost Rider. I hate Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I gave up on that a long time ago.
Yeah, me too. And I'm really worried because he's such a great character, and I'm obsessed with the idea of a film with him in, but I do not want him in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. does everything badly. Like, literally everything.
Even though we think it's bad, and I do know a lot of other people who do think it's bad, I also know a lot of people who love it. So
yeah, me too.
I guess it's like a gateway drug to learn about other characters. So it could give him this, like, the presence that we want him to have, even if it's not how we want it to.
That's
but then
true.
If more people like him, he'll get other things.
That's very true. I think I'm just a bit bitter because, like, I really would have liked his own thing, even that probably never would have happened because, like, he's not really that well known, but maybe this will make him well known enough. I don't know. We'll see.
It's catch-22. You've got to promote something you hate. for him to get one
Yeah,
wrong.
exactly. Speaking of things that are a lot better than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., have you been watching...
Everything.
Yeah, literally anything else. Have you been watching Stranger Things on Netflix?
No, I've just finished, if we're going to talk about Netflix exclusives,
Yeah.
it's not geeky, but I recommend it to everyone. I think it's just called Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. I don't think it's called My Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. I think it's just Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. I watched that in about 48 hours. Like, I think maybe a couple of hours in between, but I pretty much watched it all in one sitting. It's amazing. It's a musical TV show. Like, think Flight of the Conchords, but with a female protagonist. It's amazing. It's about this woman who, she is 16. She goes to summer camp. She meets a summer boyfriend and they break up after summer. Then 10 years later, she's like this neurotic mess who lives in New York, and she's like this big time lawyer. And she bumps into her summer boyfriend. And he's like, oh, I'm moving back to West Covina because that's where I want to be. And he's like, oh, we should hang out sometime. So what does she do? She quits her job and moves to West Covina. And she's like, oh, it's not for Josh. It's because I'm like, I'm starting a new life. But if he wants to ask me out, that's fine. And then she finds out he has a girlfriend. And now she's stuck in West Covina but not for Josh. Like, there's a whole song about it, but every episode has the funniest musicals in ever. It's amazing.
Oh, that does sound good. Oh yeah, that sounds like something I'd like.
As an example, one of the songs in one of the very first episodes, she's getting ready for a date, and it's called like the Getting Ready Sexy song. And she's in tights and everyone's got their mustaches bleached and stuff like that. And this rapper comes in talking about like, I'm getting with my bees and my hoes and blah, 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 beep, beep, beep. And then he looks in the bathroom and he goes to her, is this what you've got to do to get ready? And she's like, yeah. And he goes, oh, I can't unsee that. I've got to apologize to a lot of women for how I've treated them.
Yes, that sounds amazing. Yes. Oh, wow. Yeah, Stranger Things is not remotely like that.
No, I really want to see it because within like one day of it being up, half of my Facebook exploded saying it was really good.
I know.
It looks very X-Filesy. Have you seen anything yet?
Yeah, I'm about 5 episodes in, and I think there's only like 7 or something. It's not very long, but it's a little bit X-Files, a little bit Goonies, very much 80s like culty horror kind of elements to it. And there's a lot of like 80s movie references in it, like a lot. Like there's obvious stuff, like there's a Jaws poster in one of the people's bedrooms and stuff.
Amazing.
But there's a lot of like dialogue and scenes that are like familiar in like a nice sort of homage way. Like there was a bit where one of the boyfriends basically comes up to this girl's window, and it's almost like scene for scene similar to Heather's. And there's lots of little bits in it like that. But yeah, I'm only like five episodes in, I think. But every episode's like so intense, and there's so much going on, and I've already cried at it once. So yeah, and it's just amazing. It's like the thing where you finish watching it and you're like, well, I have to watch the next one. Like I can't possibly not watch the next one. But yeah, it's really good and creepy.
How long is each episode?
I think they're about an hour, like 55 minutes or something.
See, they're dangerous for me. It takes me a long time to commit to watch a film. Like, it'll take me about an hour to pick a film I want to watch, but I'll easily just watch any TV show. But that is 7 hours long.
Yeah.
But once I start watching it, I won't stop, and then I don't go to sleep.
I was like,
yeah.
I was like, within 10 minutes of watching it, I was like fully involved. Like, it's so good. And it really just like throws you in straight away and kind of like gets to the point, but also it's got all like the necessary development and everything you'd want. Like it's just so good. And usually I've noticed, like, it seems a lot of the time now a lot of kid actors are like kind of rubbish, but the kids in this are amazing. Like, it's almost like the bunch of kids in like Stand By Me. It's that sort of thing. And a lot of people are saying it's like if the Goonies was written by Stephen King. Like, it's that sort of combination.
Is it really weird? Because whenever I've asked anyone what's it about, they all kind of describe to me what it's like, but they can't tell me what it's about.
No.
Or does it give it away if you even tell me what it's about?
Yeah, I think it's better when you go in, like, so it comes as a surprise, because I didn't know anything about it other than, like you said, like, Facebook has exploded. I guess I should watch this. So I think that with a lot of stuff though, like sometimes the best stuff is when you have no idea what to expect.
Yeah, because you have no expectations then. And I
No.
build stuff up a lot in my head. So I think I'll watch that. I think I'll watch one episode tonight. Or is it one of them, like, just don't wait till your day off? Start in the morning.
Blaster them all. And actually, that's a good segue, the expectations, onto Ghostbusters. Which I guess we should talk about, because that's a film that came out. That I was excited for and you were not excited for.
No, I wasn't enraged by it, but I was like, it's going to be rubbish, isn't it? Like, that's literally my reaction to it. I was like, I only went to cinema to see how bad it was. That's like why I went. But yeah, what did you think?
I loved it. And I went in thinking, I really want this to be amazing. I'm pretty sure it's going to be average. And came out like, oh my God, I loved it. I loved every moment of it. I thought every moment was valid and necessary, and I wanted to see it all. And I thought the pacing and everything was perfect. I really liked, aesthetically it appealed to me. Like, I liked the design of the ghosts and the fact they looked a little bit 80s-y in their design. I thought the special effects were good. I'm glad that they kept the ectoplasm slime. I love the car. I love the costumes. I'm the only person apparently on the planet that loved the music. I love the Fallout Boy version.
The music. I loved the dubstepness, and I was like, yeah,
so did I. I thought it was amazing, and like the way that a few times they use the Ghostbusters theme, but like twist it and change it a little bit. I thought that was really good. I loved the characters. I loved everyone in it. Kevin was hilarious. The jokes were great. The writing was perfect. Like it literally just like hit every mark for me. What did you think?
I will admit I was wrong. It wasn't shit. It also wasn't, but it also for me wasn't great. Like, it was like a 7 out of 10. I thought it was a really strong start. I thought it started exactly how it should. It reminded me of Ghostbusters meets Goosebumps. It was like, it was, you could tell this one was a lot more family friendly, because one of the things my friends had a problem with is the first one was actually really scary, and it was, but I was like, this is for kids. Like, yeah,
that's what I thought.
I
thought this one was quite family friendly. It felt like it was.
So I thought they'd done that well. I thought they'd still kept the ghost element in without it being scary. I loved the way that it looked like it was going to be pretty much a rip-off of the original script, but it was actually the opposite, where the Ghostbusters were embraced in the first one, not in this one. I thought the costumes were stupid. I still don't like costumes. The car was good. The location was great. How they got to the location was great. The actors worked well together, because even if like some people don't like Melissa McCarthy, I think they'll like her in this because she's diluted. Liked the music. Thought some of the jokes were too far. Like, I feel like there were some amazing jokes and some terrible jokes. Because the ones that I liked made me cry laughing, but then there were some that I was like, really not needed. I thought there were some plot holes, and I'm trying to like be spoiler free as possible, just in case no one's seen it yet. But I did think there were some quite major plot holes towards the end. But yeah, overall, it made me laugh, and all it is, it's just a comedy film. That's all it is. It's just a comedy, and it made me laugh, so it did its job. And I mean, it made me cry laughing. So it did its job.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. Like, if it was coming at it from like a serious perspective, I think I'd be more critical of it. Like, I'd be like, oh, well, this doesn't make sense and this is silly. But I think I'm looking at it like the way you'd look at like Ace Ventura or like Zoolander, like something that's just a bit stupid. Like, I can't really tear it apart. It's like people talked about like plot holes in something like Looper, which like the time travel movie, but they don't talk about but they don't talk about plot holes in like Bill and Ted. Like, I think there's a difference.
Or Hot Tub Time Machine.
Yeah, exactly. So I think Ghostbusters, for me, like, I was easy enough to please, and like I can forgive anything that was wrong with it, because I thought it was really fun, and nothing else in the cinema this year for me has been very fun. So yeah, but I did enjoy it. Hello. Hi. Sarah and Alex have joined us.
Let's
Yay!
go sideways. There we go.
Amazing. You found
Okay,
somewhere
we
quiet.
made it.
Yay!
I'm just turning you up.
That's perfect.
There we go.
Awesome.
How's everyone
Yay.
doing?
Good, how are
Oh,
you?
thank you so much for joining us.
Of course, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
It's actually quite quiet. Have you found a
We have
quiet
a headset
place?
on.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's why
We're
we
sharing
look kind of
headphones.
yeah.
Amazing. Well, we have got a bunch of questions for you, Alex, already. People have been
Sure.
tweeting at us.
Of course.
Let's have a look. Let's see if we've got anything good here.
I saw one actually that says, "Who's your favorite colorist?"
My favorite colorist. You probably have to go back to most likely who are my biggest influences, right? Because they're the people that ended up making me want to do this. Lynn Barley was always someone who I looked up to. Her work on not only Dark Knight Returns, but Electra Lives is stuff that I gush about still. I'm a fanboy about, and I love. And then Joe Chito. Joe Chito is probably who we refer to as the grandfather of all modern colorists. If you look at names like Laura Martin, Jeremy Cox, Justin Ponser, all those people worked and learned color from Joe Chito. So, I think that if you ask any one of them who their favorite colorist or who their biggest influence is, Joe Chito is on everybody's list of names for that. So those are my three favorite. Modern day colorists, my current peers, I love Francisco Palencia. His stuff's incredible. Laura has always been someone that, ever since she came to the studio and I saw her work, I thought, holy crap, this lady's got some serious talent. And sure enough, she's made a great career for herself. So I always look to her stuff for inspiration, for, motivation. It's always someone, hey, who's out there, who's doing great work that I need to kind of keep up with.
Awesome. We've got another one here that I'm quite interested in. I was going to ask this question, but someone on Twitter stole it from me. What character or book would you most like to work on that you haven't yet?
I've been lucky enough at DC that I've worked with pretty much every character at this point. So I've got my fill there. Since I really haven't worked with Marvel, I think I tend to answer in that with those characters. Daredevil was probably my favorite DC character, and in X-Men, so Colossus. I love anyone made out of chrome. It's kind of cool to work with. Daredevil would be a great one. And then off comic books, Tarzan. I love Tarzan. I would love to do some Tarzan stuff, whether it's modern or coloring some of the old Russ Heath stuff. I would kill those colors and that stuff.
Have you got a favorite of the stuff that you've worked on? Have you got a favorite that you like doing?
Growing up, Batman was always my favorite character. He continues to be that. I could do so much mood-wise, lighting-wise with him that I tend to gravitate towards that. I have a new kind of favorite who used to be one of the least favorite characters, Wonder Woman. I used to have a hard time coloring Wonder Woman because there's so many, it's a huge variety of textures, huge variety of colors, and so much skin. Skin, and I say that in as an artist, because coloring skin is hard because it's something that we as humans see every day. So if it's off, you can tell right away. It's one of the things that when you look at it, you're like, yeah, that's wrong. So it's very intimidating to look at someone who's showing so much skin for that reason. But this new costume, the costume that Gal Gadot is wearing in the movies, that Rebirth has now, is so incredible. And the palettes they're using is a little more muted. Those burnt blues, those really desaturated reds are so cool. And then the textures are more bronzy than gold, really scratched metal than shiny. So I'm really loving this new look for her, and can't get enough of her.
Did you see the new trailer for Wonder Woman?
I have not. I'm dying.
It's good.
Because I've been too crazy busy. I did see this big one yesterday at DC.
Yeah,
and
it's
that
good.
was incredible. So I'm hoping that they run it while I'm up there doing a demo for DC today.
Yeah, that would be nice. It does look good. It looks awesome. We've got a question on Twitter for you from Wilbro Jr. 36, which is, how long have you collaborated with Jim Lee, and what's been your favorite project working with him?
Jim's the guy that discovered me and hired me into the industry, so I've been working with him my entire career. So 23 years worth, exclusively with him and Scott. It was we did the Stan Lee Wonder Woman special, and that was kind of like a warm-up to Hush. And we've really worked exclusively since, so that's been almost like 15 years now. My favorite work with him, you kind of go towards the sentimental favorite of everybody's, right? Everybody identifies me with Hush, and that's still, working on my favorite character growing up with someone like Jim on a story like that featured everybody. So that project was great to work with. The stuff we did on Superman Unchained was really cool, and then seeing some of the pages that he's doing for Suicide Squad right now, they're really cool things to do. And so it's tough, right? Because you're like, Hush was my favorite, but I'm looking forward to the next one, and then when that one's done, you look forward to the next one. So it's tough to kind of nail one, but I think we all keep going back to Hush because that's where it started. It was the first one that we did that was a solid hit.
And it was a great book.
Yeah, I love Hush.
Jeff wrote that to Jim's strengths, and it shows. Because Jim's energy shows through with him and Scott to just nail that time.
Do you think they'd ever do a Hush animated movie? That would be amazing.
I want a Hush mini-series on HBO. That would be awesome.
Yes. I think you'd have, there's so much of it, and there's so many characters in it, you'd have to have something like a series.
Well, and that's what I keep telling them. You seem like, dude, you guys should go to HBO and do, the Long Halloween would be a great 12-part series.
Yes.
And then you can do Hush, you can do Dark Victory, and,
just keep telling them.
I know. When it does come out and it's a hit, I'll be told you.
I feel
20 years ago.
I feel like it was like fan harassment that basically got them to do the Killing Joke animated movie. Yes. So maybe it'll work.
Yeah, I can see where that one, it's animated and someone gets shot.
Maybe we should start a petition, girls.
Yeah. Get it going over there and send
get
it
a Hush series.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Have you made it over to any, or got any plans to make it over to any UK conventions?
Well, I was at the London Comic-Con this past February. Loved it. It was my first time there. I love the city. Want to come back. Would love to come back. So if you want to start bugging the organizers,
yeah, we need to get him flights, and then he'll be there.
More than happy to go back to the city. So.
Awesome.
I have a question. If everyone else is, I have a lot of illustrators and artists and people who want to get into the comic book industry. What would you say is the hardest mistake and biggest lesson you've ever made getting into the industry?
I would say the biggest mistake was not listening. I think you get so caught up when you show your portfolio on what they want you to work on to improve that you sometimes tune out the stuff that they like that you're doing. So for me, when I was showing my portfolio around, I would show pencils, inks, and colors, and I would get critiqued on my pencils and my inks, and every conversation ended with, but I really like your colors, and it took me forever to clue into the fact that my color work was really good. My color work was professional level, and my color work was what could get me into the industry. So my advice is don't just pay attention to what they're telling you what to work on. Pay attention to what they like so that you continue to do that, bringing that to your portfolio. Or that becomes what your strength really is, what your strength should be. So for me, I wanted to be a penciler, but obviously we all know by now that color is what I needed to be doing, what I need to be doing, what it really is my strength.
That's amazing, thank you. That's actually really genuinely good advice, because I think we all do that.
Yeah, I'm prone to focusing on negatives.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I think
a lot of
everyone
us
is.
do.
Hmm.
So also listen to what they like, because that's that's what you're doing right. So keep doing it, and as you improve the other stuff, you get closer to making that break.
I've got another one.
Sure.
Do you get a lot of time to read comic books, obviously, as well as working on them? And if so, have you got anything you've read recently that has sort of blown your mind, or that you would recommend as just like a great comic book?
I tend to read every now and then. I actually read scripts for the books that I work on. So
Mhm.
I read a lot of my comics in script form. And then when something new, exciting comes out, I tend to grab it and read it. So I've read some of the Rebirth books that DC has put out, and really enjoyed all of them. But it's kind of I do it all day. The last thing I want to do is read a comic book when I have
Yeah,
time to
no,
read to
sure.
myself. So I gravitate to novels. So I'm kind of slugging through the Game of Thrones series right now. I finished Brad Meltzer's latest novel, which is so good. I love Brad's work, so that's
Awesome. Is there a particular book or comic book, whatever your preference is, that you feel like you need to see a movie or TV series made from it?
I was happy to see Daredevil go to the screen. That was like I mentioned before, one of my favorite characters. Flashes out. It would be cool to do a Batman. I see what I mean. HBO needs to do a Batman miniseries kind of a thing, because Gotham's great, but we're all kind of sitting there. We're all waiting for the Bat to show up.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm trying to think what other characters would be cool to do. I mean, I'm just happy that a lot of these properties are finally making it to TV. Because as a kid, it was always like, oh, they need to make a show about this. Oh, they need to make a show about that. I don't know. I'm bummed that Birds of Prey series never really took off, because that was a cool concept. I don't think that the execution was there, but it's something that they can do again and do it well, especially now in today's DC TV universe, for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you'd think with like Arrow and Flash, it wouldn't surprise me if they ended up doing a Birds of Prey series, maybe.
Yeah, and they kind of introduced Huntress for a little bit, and Black Canary's there. And,
Yeah, that's true.
All you guys do is bring Batgirl to the party, and you got the Birds of Prey.
Please, I want Batgirl in something.
Yes.
She deserves to be in something at last. Something that isn't just the Killing Joke. Sarah, have you got any questions as you're sitting next to him?
Yeah, to be honest, because I've been spending some time with him, I've kind of asked him everything I wanted to know already. I didn't wait for you.
Well, can I ask you guys something? What is it that you're reading right now that you really like?
I mentioned earlier I've just finished Paul Dini's A Dark Knight, which is like this semi-autobiographical one about when he got beaten up, and that was like amazing. That was like the sort of thing where I read it, and then afterwards I was just like, whoa, like I need to sit and take a minute. Like that was incredible. And the artwork, I think that was Edward Riso, I think was his name. That was amazing. Yeah, that was like, yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, and I'm currently rereading Scott Pilgrim by Brian Lee O'Malley, and
cool.
Yeah, I'm loving it. I haven't read it since about 6-7 years ago. Long time.
My daughter just discovered it and loves it, so I'm trying to find it all for her.
Yeah, I almost feel like sometimes, like especially working, like obviously with a comic book store, I'm just like there's so much, like I can't keep up with it all. I'm like a huge fan of Deadly Class on Image, and I just found out they're supposed to be doing a TV series of Deadly Class produced by the Russo brothers, which will be like the most amazing thing ever.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with Batgirl of Burnside, although I know that's kind of finished obviously with Rebirth. There's just like so much. It is exciting having stuff being like made into series and TV shows and movies though.
I feel really bad every time I see Deadly Class, because just looking at the covers, they look like something that I need in my life, and I just haven't got round to reading it yet.
Yeah, it is amazing. It's the coolest book. Like, it's going to make such a cool TV series if it all goes to plan, which I hope it does.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Well, we have a bit of a queue forming, so I'm going to leave Alex to do some work.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much for joining us, Alex. That's been amazing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me on.
If you come back, we'll all come and hug you and bring you sweets.
That's cool.
Awesome.
And I'll send some prints over with Sarah for you guys.
Oh, you're amazing. Oh, thank you so much.
So I'm going to steal your headphone. Okay.
Oh, he was so nice.
I'm going to let him do work now.
I want to kiss his face. He was lovely.
He's so cute.
That's my instant reaction. If like anyone is nice, I'm just like, oh, let me kiss your face.
I did it to Andy Diggle at a convention once.
It's just like the only way I can express my admiration for how
like,
lovely you
I
are.
love you.
Okay, Sarah, what's Comic-Con like? For anyone who hasn't
Absolutely
clicked on yet,
magical.
Sarah's at San Diego Comic-Con, so...
It's crazy. I'll just give you a...
Wow.
Wow.
Oh,
How many days has it got left?
this is the last day. This is the last day.
Have you been
we
there the
had
whole
preview
time?
Night, yes, we had preview night on Wednesday, and then the show was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Wow. Have you bought lots of amazing things?
To be honest, because I had to sell a load of my stuff to get my flights here, I've not bought a whole lot for me, but other people have sent me money to get them things. So I've got some original Eric Powell pages,
Oh, I love him.
like 3 of those.
Kiss his face as well.
And then I saw Bameo like a couple of times. We hung out a couple of times, so I've got like a couple of drawings of him. I think I got a Joker and a Harley Quinn this time. And then a load of prints. Like, he just gave me some prints.
Have you met lots of amazing people?
Always. Every convention. I make friends easily in a room full of people that like the same thing as me.
We were saying earlier, like
Pokemon Go.
Oh, I've not had time. I opened it up to have a look, and I am not kidding. There were like a million Pokestops. All of them had lures on. Like, and I couldn't. I've not had time to do it. I've not had the battery to do it. It's been crazy.
Yeah, imagine if you're at San Diego, you don't want your battery running out either.
Yeah.
I'm attached to a charger right now.
Oh.
Because yeah, like it just, and obviously Pokemon Go uses all
so much
of your battery. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Oh wow, I bet you're having the best time.
I hate you.
I hate you too.
Oh. Have you kissed anyone's faces
so
yet?
I tend to like hug everyone. So I've hugged a lot of people.
Me and Lucy were saying earlier, like, you have got the biggest balls out of anyone. Like, you would just go up to someone and be like, be my friend, and it'll work.
I did it. We were sitting for the Vertigo panel, and there was just like a girl with pink hair and like knee-high Converse, and I was like, hey you, hey, what's your name?
Hey,
and
be
then
my friend.
We went in and sat like together for the whole panel, and we were like Pokemon going while we were sitting down. And yeah, it was really cool, and she was so nice. I've not seen her since, like, because this place is massive and there are so many people here, but yeah, like, I've just been kind of adopting people as I went along.
Have you gone on your own?
Yeah.
Biggest balls. I'd never do that.
You literally have gamma radiated balls, like they're huge.
I do. Gamma balls.
They're giant and green and glowing. What has been
in my case, red.
Yeah. What has been your best moment?
Definitely for me, obviously, because everyone knows how much I love Lee Mayo.
Yeah.
Any chance I get to sit down and hang out with him will always be my favorite thing. So he had a signing at the Traveling Man table, and I just got to sit with him for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. We were just talking, hanging out, like drinking drinks. He drew me that Harley Quinn. So obviously that will always be my favorite thing because he's my favorite person.
Yeah, we've got a question for you from YouTube, from Samurai OX. Were you asked to attend, or are you there just for your own pleasure?
I'm just here for fun, but I did have my pass provided for me, and an artist has put me up for the week, so I'm staying. My accommodation cost me nothing either.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, that's good.
What we need to do now is first of all we need to get London Super Comic Con to ask for us to go, and then San Diego.
We'll get Alex to come.
yeah, exactly. That's it. Everyone on Twitter, start a campaign to get the Gamma Dames to San Diego.
Gamma
That'd be
Dames
great.
To London,
Gamma Dames to
San
London.
Diego.
Yeah.
3 hot girls. That has to happen.
We'll come dressed as She-Hulk.
It's the funniest thing about being here. Like, no matter who I talk to, the guys are always like, "Oh, you're so charming." Like, literally, it's the word they use whenever I open my mouth. And then all of the women are like, "Oh, your accent is so sexy." Like,
yes.
So, if I wanted a girlfriend, I'd have 1 million in here.
Oh yes. How amazing.
It's kind of sweet.
Yeah.
I think the novelty of me being British, it does me a lot of favors in here.
When I was a guest in Harrisburg, people like, no one knows who I am. They walk past my table and they'd be like, "Who's this?" And then as they heard my accent, they would literally do this. They'd walk away and then go,
yeah.
And then they'd just go, "Your accent, where's it from?" And then they had to talk to me.
Yes.
Well, sorry. They've been trying to teach me to speak with an American accent. So far, the only thing I've managed is the word water. And that's because they say water. But so far, that's the only word I've managed to pick up. But the guys that I'm staying with, they find it like absolutely hilarious. And they keep trying to do an English accent.
Oh, that's even more fun.
Yeah.
Everyone did when I was there. No one did it though. They all thought.
Yeah. They try, but they don't quite get it. But
They'll sound like Dick Van Dyke and Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes. Oh, amazing.
It's been fun. I'm officially done in.
Podcast and just like caught up with Sarah and be like, "Tell us about San Diego."
Did you two hear that they have cast at last Captain Marvel?
Yes,
Brie
Larson.
Brie Larson. Brie Larson is in Scott Pilgrim. She is I can't remember the character's name, the singer of the band that Scott's.
Yes.
Her. Yeah, she's going to be Captain Marvel. She was the one that she was like rumoured a couple of months ago, and it turns out it is her, which is interesting. I just really hope they give her the mohawk. Like, she's got to have the mohawk to be Captain Marvel.
Yeah, definitely.
Sarah?
I completely agree. Yeah?
At San Diego, did they show The Killing Joke?
Premiere?
Yeah.
Yes, they did. Yeah.
Have you? So, is it true that they extended stuff into?
Yes.
I don't know if I want to say it.
They rewrote sections, and in that section, it shows. I don't know if I want to spoil it for everyone.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't because it's not out yet.
Yeah, it's not out. But it shows something that's caused some controversy. Yeah.
I just wanted you to confirm it because I'd only read it in one article and it wasn't a very well written article. So I was like, is this even true? Because they haven't seen it; they just heard that it happened.
Well, I tell you what, when we go offline, ask me what you think it is, and I'll tell you if it's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Because I wouldn't want to ruin it for anyone that hasn't obviously had the opportunity to go and see it yet.
Yeah, it comes out tomorrow, so it's like one day before.
We don't want to do that to people.
No.
But yes, it's deeming to be controversial as we expected.
Yeah.
There was a panel, and in the panel, Brian Azzarello, who I will admit I really, really like, did call someone a name.
So that was true as well.
That's true.
Someone asked them about the film and said, why did you do it this way?
Yeah.
And he went, oh, I did it for this reason. And the other guy kind of went, well, it's not very good, is it? And he insulted
really sarcastically.
Like, do you want to repeat that P word?
Yeah.
Wow.
But I will admit that, honestly, I love the guy. And in that situation, I can't say that I would have reacted any differently, because why take abuse from an audience member?
Yeah.
But it wasn't just an audience member. He was a journalist, wasn't he?
Yes,
I can't
a
remember
journalist.
what he was for.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they've had, I think, from what I've heard, they've had a bit of history already.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So there's
probably more
tension there. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, it's been causing some controversial stuff.
Yes, I've tweeted about it, but yeah. We can all guess how I feel about that thing.
Yeah.
Well, now you see, the issue in question I don't really have a problem with, because as you know, they kind of explained on the panel, it has always been there. So I don't really have a problem with it.
I don't know what to think until I see it for myself.
Yeah. Exactly. It's you have to see how it's handled before you can make a decision on what the facts are, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, totally.
Like, if you just break it down into bullet points, it doesn't sound very good. But if you kind of judge it by how it's actually addressed, maybe you'll feel differently.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We shall. So hopefully once we've all had a chance to see it, we'll be able to discuss that one next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have seen it by the next time we podcast. So that'd be awesome.
And it's,
Sarah, have you seen Ghostbusters?
It's going to be a very Marmite thing. I have seen Ghostbusters before the convention started. I liked it. I didn't love it, but I enjoyed it. It made me laugh. It was entertaining. The nod at the end was nice. So obviously they're going to go on to do other things. The cameos were amazing. And it did make me laugh out loud.
Yeah, that's exactly what Lucy said.
I forgot to mention, the cameos were perfect.
Yeah, they were.
I didn't even mention that.
Literally great.
Yeah. And I cried laughing, Sarah. It was so funny.
Yeah.
You hear that, internet? That's 3 out of 3 dames say yes to Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
It ranges from good to great, okay? It's not the best film. It's no Schindler's List, but it's a good comedy.
Thank God it's
not.
The thing is,
when I go to watch a film, like, literally all I want is something that's going to entertain me for the 90 minutes to 2 hours.
Yeah.
And it entertained me. Job done.
Yeah. Awesome. I came out of the cinema and immediately was like, I'd go and watch that again. Like, I had a really fun time with that.
I don't know if
I can imagine, Sunday afternoon, sitting down with Damien, sticking a film on.
Yeah.
It's innocent enough that he'd be able to watch it with me, but it's also kind of got those grown-up moments that make me laugh.
That's exactly what we said, Lucy, isn't it? That it seemed family-friendly, and, like, Sarah can confirm.
I would let Damien watch that movie, and he's 4.5.
I had a friend of mine who said to me, I really enjoyed it, but I thought Kevin was too stupid. And I said, well, if you spent half an hour with my brother, you'd realise that's perfectly real.
The one thing that I really love is when he has the saxophone to his ear.
Yeah, me too.
Or when he scratches his eye through his glasses.
Through the glasses, yeah, I loved that. Oh, it was such a fun movie.
And I feel like, it's so loud.
I feel like with how like gritty and heavy so many films are, something like Ghostbusters that was that light-hearted was really nice.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you know, like they have obviously made him act that way for a reason, and it's because the standard portrayal of a secretary is the female version of that.
Yeah, yeah, literally.
You know, in everything you watch, they cast really stupid kind
Yeah.
of. Oh yeah. So obviously they've done it intentionally.
Yeah.
So anyone that's like, oh, but why was he so stupid? It's like, well, that's because that's how secretaries.
Yeah, how does it
portrayed.
feel?
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
I said to someone the other day, I think it would be a fun idea if they do another couple of movies or another movie that like every movie they get a new receptionist, like, but he's just like another like sexy guy. So like the next one could be like a Chris Pine or like a Chris Pratt, someone like that.
I'd like a Henry Cavill.
Yes.
Just because I saw him in person.
Oh my
I didn't meet him, but he walked by my table. And I didn't know that it was him because he was wearing a V for Vendetta mask. Have you seen the video
God.
where he goes up to the Suicide Squad signing? And
No.
they don't know it's him because he has a mask on.
Oh my
and he like takes a picture with Will Smith and like pulls the mask back and then says, "Oh, thanks," and shakes his hand. And Will Smith's just like, "Oh, oh my God."
Oh no, I haven't seen that.
Yeah. So he was walking around with a V for Vendetta mask and a Suicide Squad t-shirt. And I saw him like in person. He's not as tall as I thought, but he is huge. Like, he is huge.
But the most important question, Sarah, is how was his butt?
I didn't look because it was below table level.
Oh no!
You're a professional, Sarah.
That's the point. That's the point, Sarah. You should have swept everything off the table and gone, "Oh, help me pick it up."
And like, man with nice arms, let's have a look.
Oh, I've dropped my pencil, Henry. Please bend over and get it.
And you look strong. Can you pick up that print?
Yes. Oh.
So yeah, now that I've seen him like in person, I think I kind of respect him more because obviously in the movies he looks enormous, but you don't know how much of that is real.
Yeah.
And I can vouch for the fact that in person he's massive.
Beef.
Yeah.
100% beef. Is that the most famous person that you've seen?
I think so. Like, yeah, I think so. Because the rest of the people that I've met that to me are super famous all work in comics.
Yeah.
On the scope of the planet, super famous in comics is not that famous in real life. Like, if you say to someone that doesn't read books, do you know who Jim Lee is? They'll go, no.
Yeah, totally.
And it happened on the way here, actually. Like, I was sitting next to a guy on the plane, and he was like, "Oh, so you're going to Comic-Con? Like, I'd love to go one day." And I was like, "Oh, cool. Like, so do you read books?" And he was like, "Oh, no, not really." So then we were talking about books, and I was telling him what he should and shouldn't read. And then I said to him, like, "So have you heard of Jim Lee before?" And he was like, no, not really. I was like, right, well, there's this book by him called Hush. Like, I was doing that whole thing.
Yeah.
So it just kind of reminded me that the people that I think are like these huge names on the scale of things, not so much.
No, it's like when you mention a name and then someone just gives you like a blank stare and you're like, oh, okay, never mind.
Oh, you don't know who that is. Right.
Yeah. It's like
you're busy hyperventilating because you're fangirling so much.
Exactly.
Yeah. So for mass appeal, yes. Definitely Cavill is the most famous.
Awesome. How amazing. I was just seeing if we had any more questions.
I just thinking, how long have we been on for?
Probably about an hour. We started a little bit late.
Yeah.
It's because we're just so much fun. We're so interesting.
Yay.
I definitely think any listeners / viewers, if you want us to have more creators on, then please let us know, because between the three of us, I'm sure we can wangle that. But
yeah, I mean, I've been talking to a couple of people, and due to the format that we do it in, you know, they can do it from home.
Yeah, exactly.
So I have managed to talk to a few people. Like, I'm not going to name names in case we don't actually get it through to fruition, but yeah, I've been talking to quite a few people that, because we do it on Google Hangouts, they can just join us from their office.
Yeah, awesome. So yeah, let us know if you want us to do that. Tweet us or Facebook us or whatever and let us know. Because as nerds, it's interesting for us anyway. So, but yeah, let us know if you want us to feature more people, because that is cool and fun.
Yeah, and obviously next time we'd probably have them for a bit longer. But due to the fact that this place is so full, and obviously he's quite in demand, I didn't want to keep him for too long.
Yeah, no,
but
that's
it's
totally
awesome that he just agreed to it anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, he's really
He's
sweet.
awesome.
He's really sweet.
I hope he does come to
as
London
soon as
again.
I said to him, like, listen, we're doing a podcast, he was like, yeah, fine, no problem. What time, when?
Oh, what a legend.
So yeah, it was
Nice
really
guy.
cool.
Well, if he comes to SuperCon next year, we can give him little green and red Hulk kisses on his face.
Yeah.
So hopefully he will come. That would be nice.
Yeah, he made it over this year, but he'd never been to England before. So he's just been once. And he has already said he would definitely like to come back again.
Oh, let's hope so. Let's start aggressively tweeting Super Comic-Con to get him back in that case.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Definitely.
Yeah, well, as Lucy said, I think we've been about an hour. I don't know, because there's no timer on here, which is an oversight, but I think we've been about an hour. I've just been looking around the screen like, where is it? But yeah, I think we've been on an hour, so thank you for everybody that joined us. Thank you for everyone who tweeted us questions and tweeted Alex questions. Tweet us.
I'll just get him to say goodbye briefly.
Yeah.
Alex, can you just wave? We're going.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me on.
There we go. So
he's amazing. Yeah. But yeah, thank you so much, everybody. Please tweet us at the Gamma Dames if you want us to get more guests. Tweet us, let you know what you thought of the show. Retweet it. Tweet us and let us know if you want us to be at SuperCon. And all these other wonderful things.
Let's start a petition.
Let's start a petition. We need a hashtag.
Yeah, we do. We'll figure that out. We'll find something catchy.
We'll get back to you guys on that hashtag.
Yeah, or help us come up with one. To get us to
lazy.
And I tell you what, I will donate a prize to the person that comes up with the catchiest hashtag from San Diego Comic-Con.
There you go. How much better can it get?
That's awesome. Can I enter this competition?
Yes, you can.
So that's it. Get thinking of a hashtag to help us get to London Super Comic Con next year, and Sarah will be donating an amazing prize from San Diego because she is the best. Thank you everybody for watching and listening, and we will see you in a couple of weeks.
Bye. Bye.